welcome to PQ Prime. I'm Hiral Daria. An interesting day of trade is what we are witnessing. Markets are trading at the day's highest levels as we speak. Ruchit Jain joins in to give us more. Ruchit, good afternoon and welcome to the show. My first question coming to you is 18,200 is what we were looking at as a stiff resistance. It seems we've managed to cross that and we are trading way above 18,250 levels now, right currently. What's the sense that you pick up?
Yeah, hi, very good afternoon, Hiral. Well, the broader trend for the market still remains positive because we have seen that when the market had taken a pause yesterday, it was just one day of correction which we witnessed, but the broader markets continued to do well. If you look at the mid cap and the small cap stocks, the non-FN names have particularly been doing well in spite of some in-between corrections in the indices. So this indicates that the buying interest is clearly there in the broader market. So we expect this trend to continue now. Now, with a move in the prices, the support base, the short-term support base for the Nifty is shifting higher, and which has now shifted to 18,000 to 18,100 range. So I think the downside seems to be limited for now. 18,000 to 18,100 would now act as a support on any kind of decline. Until these supports are intact, one should continue to trade with a positive bias. On the higher side, 18,300 would be the first level to watch out for in the near term. And if we manage to surpass that too, then 18,500, I think, won't be far enough to achieve that.
Right. Similarly, we've seen a same trend in terms of Bank Nifty as well, 43,700. That is not something that the markets were anticipating because the broad range we were looking at is 43,000 to 43,500. On the downside, 43 put strike was something which was acting as an immediate support, whereas 43,500 was acting as a resistance. What should the strategy be?
So, Viral, that's what happened when the trend is strong enough. No, the call writers somewhere have to unwind their positions and the market continues to keep moving higher. So we saw that at the start of the day, the highest open interest in the Bank Nifty was seen in 43,500 call and 43,000 put option. The put option writing positions have done its work well, while the 43,500 once that was surpassed today, in the later half of the day, they clearly indicated that the momentum is on the positive side, and especially it has been led by the heavyweights such as HDFC Bank, which has continued its uptrend after a brief consolidation phase over last couple of weeks. So I think led by the heavyweights, the Bank Nifty is showing strength, which is likely to continue. Now the next level would be around 44,000 mark, where the high open interest would be seen now. So I think the trend still, this clearly indicates that the trend is positive, and rather than fighting against the trend, I think it's better that short-term traders should ride this momentum which is going on.
Right. Let's look at the financials because they are the ones who are leading the pack. M&M Financial, Cholamandalam, Muthoot, LIC. Heavy long built up seen on both these counters. What's the strategy?
So clearly, the banking and the NBFC space, have been buzzing over last couple of months. In fact, if you look from the start of the April month, when we came out of this consolidation phase, the market started showing some pullback move. The NBFC and the banking stocks were the space where fresh long build-up was initially seen. So we witnessed a lot of short covering in the April series, but banking and the NBFC stocks witnessed fresh long build-up, and many of those have been rolled over to this May series as well. So clearly, this move indicates that the long positions are still intact. And in fact, some of the stocks such as Mahindra and Mahindra Finance, even L&T Finance, I would add to the name. Bajaj Finance today again showed a good move. So I think this NBFC space should continue its up move until any reversal seen. I think it's better to look for some good buying opportunities where outperformance would continue in these names.
Right. Ruchit, what should the strategy be with the Hind Copper? Because the stock is up, good volumes. Open interest addition is also pretty strong in today's session.
So it's a pullback move which can happen. We have recently seen a very sharp correction in the stock. A pullback could be seen towards 112, 114 levels. But if I just even touch upon the entire metal space, if you look at the dollar index is back towards that 100 mark. And generally, when the dollar index is in a bear phase or is in a downtrend, the metals have inverse correlation and the metal stocks tend to do well. But of late, we have not seen such momentum in the metal stocks in last couple of months. Pullback metals have not participated. But I think if the dollar index continues to show such weakness, then metals should start showing some kind of buying interest, and a pullback move or a catch-up move should be seen. But we are more positive on the steel names, because if you look at stocks such as Jindal Steel, JSW Steel, Steel Authority, Tata Steel, all these stocks have showed a good price volume action. So I think within the entire metal space, we are positive on the metals, considering that the dollar index is still in a in a downtrend. But I think no, if one has to look for stock specific strategies, then I would prefer going with the steel stocks where this pocket could show some outperformance within the sector itself.
Right. How are you looking at an India Mart? The stock is up. I think in the last 8 months, we've not seen this kind of a move, and the call options have quadrupled in India Mart as well.
So the stock already gave a breakout a couple of weeks ago when it surpassed that 5200 mark. The 5200 was the previous hurdle as well. And after the breakout, that 5200 acted as a support, and again supported by higher volumes. You have seen this up move getting continued. So I think the worst seems to be over for the stock now. The momentum has shifted on the buy side. Of course, I won't advise fresh entry now above 6,000 levels because we have already seen a good move and the stop losses would be too big. No, so the risk reward ratio for fresh entry won't be much favorable here from a trading perspective. But a buy on dip strategy could be kept that whenever we get dip towards that support ranges, one should look for buying opportunities in the stock. Existing long positions should be held on, whereas fresh long should be created on any kind of declines.
Right. Apart from that, how are you seeing Kotak Mahindra Bank as well as HDFC Bank? Because both counters, there is strength, overall that we've been seeing.
So last couple of months, in fact, the Kotak Mahindra Bank have witnessed a good buying interest, especially after that gap up opening which we saw on 11th of April, which was an indication of the shift in momentum in the stock. So the trend now is positive. This entire since the month of April and May, these 2 months so far. April and so far in May, we have now seen that the stock has not breached its 20 EMA, the 20 days of exponential moving average, which has now shifted to around 1870. So till the stock is trading above this 20 EMA support, the broader trend would continue to remain positive and we would continue to see higher levels. I think 1970 to 2000 would be the next resistance range where the previous highs were around 1970, 1975. So I would watch out for what happens in that range. But as of now, considering the momentum and the stock price moving above its average supports, I think one should trade with a positive bias in Kotak Bank. Even HDFC Bank, in fact, within the banking space, HDFC Bank has been one of the leaders this time. Both HDFC Limited and HDFC Bank have been moving up. When the momentum readings got overbought, they consolidated for a while, which was a more of a time-wise correction. And again, they have resumed their uptrend. So there's no doubt that the trend for HDFC Twins is also positive. They are showing a good outperformance within the heavyweight. So no, it's better to ride this trend. We expect this up move to continue in both HDFC as well as HDFC Bank.
Right. So these are going to be interesting stocks we need to wait and watch as well. Thank you, Ruchit, so much for joining us on the show and giving us those views as well. But an interesting day of trade is what we've seen clearly. We have ended above that 18,250 mark. 18,255 is where we've ended at clearly in today's session. Gains of over 150 points coming in terms of Nifty 50. And if you see in terms of stocks as well, Adani Enterprises, Bajaj Finance, HDFC, SBI Life, as well as an HDFC Bank, which are the top gainers. IndusInd Bank, UPL, Nestle, Power Grid, ITC are the ones on the losing end. It's the financials which have been actually showing a lot of strength in today's session. If you see Bank Nifty as well, clearly a 370 points up move coming in. We've ended at 43,685 again in terms of Bank Nifty, and the advanced decline ratio in terms of Bank Nifty also has been in favor of the bulls. We have four stocks, which was IndusInd, IDFC First, ICICI, as well as the AU Bank, that have been on the losing end. But apart from that, all the other 8 banking counters, which are components of Bank Nifty, have ended in the positive. Insurance companies also saw a sharp move in today's session overall. So if you see the likes of a GIC, a 20% up move coming in there, a New India Assurance Company, double-digit up move, SBI, HDFC Life. LIC also started the day with gains of around almost 2 to 3%, has cooled off slightly, but it's mainly the financials, NBFCs, banks. This is the space which has been buzzing in today's session. And a lot of stocks which are linked to crude prices have been in focus as well. So that's going to be an interesting space to watch out for. Sensex, a closure at 61,778, a 585 point up move coming in. with regards to where the Sensex goes. And clearly, if you see in terms of stock specific action, J Corp, BEML, in fact, three consecutive sessions where the volumes have been pretty strong with regards to BEML. The stock has ended with gains of 9.5% in today's session. On the losing end, you had a Maharashtra Seamless, TTK Prestige, Engineers India, JNK Bank. These were a few of the top losers in today's session. So, yes, a lot of stock specific and sector specific action is what we've been witnessing so far. And the underlying message that we're picking up from the markets is that yes, there is positivity, there is strength. Any dips should be used as buying opportunities. That's what analysts are alluding to so far from a chart perspective as well. So it's going to be interesting. And today is the weekly expiry as well. So that's the reason why we've seen these kind of moves as well. But overall, tomorrow's session is going to be interesting. So clearly, buy on dips market is what we are waiting and watching out for. That's all that we have in this session. Thanks for watching.